Sometimes in the NFL, chaos doesn't knock politely. It doesn't give you a warning shot or pencil itself onto the calendar. No, it just kicks the door off the hinges, lights the place on fire, and dares you to find a way out. And that's exactly what's going down right now in Cleveland. What we're seeing with the Browns and Shedeur Sanders is not some carefully crafted quarterback development plan, no matter how badly the coaching staff wants to sell it. This is a meltdown. It's a head-on collision between a fan base that's starving for hope, a rookie quarterback who showed up with poise and promise, and a coaching staff that looks determined to choke that spark out before it even has a chance to breathe. And the saddest part? It didn't need to be this way. Shedeur Sanders walked into Cleveland ready to take on the challenge. He wanted this city. He wanted to wear those colors. But instead of lifting him up, the Browns are tearing him down piece by piece, then trying to convince everyone it's all part of some grand plan. Let's be real, this isn't a plan. This is sabotage dressed up as strategy. And the longer it plays out, the clearer it becomes that Cleveland isn't just risking a rough season. They're risking their future. Now, suddenly, out of nowhere, the word is this was always about development. Really? That's the story now that the internet is in flames, the fans are in full rebellion, and every analyst in the country is ripping the Browns like it's some kind of football trial on national TV? Kevin Stefanski steps up, clears his throat, and tells us this was always about developing Shedeur Sanders. Come on, don't try to gaslight a whole city. Because what we're seeing isn't development. It's damage control. Panicked, sloppy, desperate damage control. And the evidence is right in front of us. The fans don't buy it. The analysts don't buy it. Former players don't buy it. And Shedeur Sanders? He's not buying it either. You don't develop a quarterback by sticking him behind the flimsiest offensive line on the roster. You don't call watered-down plays, watch him get blindsided, then pull him after 2 drives like he's the problem. That's not growth. That's how you break a rookie before he even gets started. Think about it. You don't keep him out of red zone reps during the week, then act shocked when he struggles inside the 20. You don't throw him out there with scrap linemen, scrap receivers, and scrap respect while protecting your veteran starter like he's made of glass. That's not preparing the future. That's burying it. And everyone sees it. National voices like T.J. Houshmandzadeh and Chad Ochocinco are ripping the Browns in front of millions. Inside the locker room, stories are leaking like a busted pipe. And Stefanski's answer? Swing the X. 5 offensive linemen gone, cut loose in 1 shot. And we're supposed to call that accountability. Please. That was scapegoating, plain and simple. Because linemen don't design plays. Linemen don't call 3rd and long rollouts from their own end zone. Linemen don't draw up protections that leave your rookie staring down free rushers every other snap. That blueprint has Stefanski's fingerprints all over it. And now, he's scrambling to rewrite the story in real time. First it was about development, then about rotation. Then apparently Sanders knew the plan all along. But if you listen to Shedeur's camp, he had no clue. He walked in expecting fairness. Not favoritism, just fairness. Instead, he got tossed into the graveyard unit with no protection and no shot at showing what he can really do. And here's the real damage. This poisons a rookie's rhythm. It cracks his confidence. It makes the film look worse than it really was. Suddenly, the tape says he missed throws. The stats say his completion percentage is trash. But what they don't show is the collapsing pocket, the unblocked rusher, the 0 chance to actually execute. That's not failing. That's being set up to fail. That's where this stops being about bad coaching and starts being about sabotage. Quarterbacks need structure. They need vision. They need coaches who actually want them to succeed. And right now, nobody believes Stefanski wants that for Shedeur Sanders. We've all heard the whispers. Shedeur was an ownership pick. Stefanski never wanted him. The vibe in that quarterback room has been icy since day one. And when T.J. Houshmandzadeh goes on live TV and says it might be personal between Stefanski and Sanders, people don't laugh it off. They nod, because it fits. Now, with the chaos out in the open, Stefanski is stumbling backwards through the fire, acting like this was always part of the script. Too late. The trust is gone. The damage is done. And panic signings like Snoop Huntley don't scream vision, they scream desperation. And what makes this sting worse? Shedeur Sanders wanted Cleveland. He embraced the city. He wanted to make this his home. He saw potential here. He wore that jersey with pride. Not every blue-chip rookie does that. He did. And what did he get? A broken line. A stale system. A coach who never believed in him. That's not disappointment. That's betrayal. And you can see it on the field. Players walking on eggshells in interviews, careful with every word when Sanders' name comes up. That's not unity. That's survival mode. And Stefanski? He's doing what every coach on the hot seat does, pointing fingers anywhere but at himself. But here's the truth. If your rookie doesn't look ready, that's on you. If your roster can't protect him, that's on you. If the fans have lost faith before week 1, that's on you too. Cleveland had something real here. A rookie with star potential, with charisma, with the chance to actually ignite the city again. And instead of nurturing him, they smothered him under excuses and negligence. Now the whole league sees it. And the cruel irony. None of this was inevitable. This wasn't fate. This was choice. And Cleveland chose wrong. If Shedeur Sanders had been given a real chance, genuine snaps behind a competent offensive line, in a system actually built to help him grow, and he still struggled, fans would have understood that. Analysts would have shrugged and said, at least the process was fair. That's what true development looks like. That's accountability. But that's not what happened here. Not even close. Instead, we watched a head coach protect one quarterback like he was made of glass, while tossing another, a rookie, with everything to prove, directly into a buzzsaw. That's not development. That's not leadership. That's not even competition. That's sabotage. And here's the thing. If Kevin Stefanski really thinks one smooth-talking press conference and 5 disposable linemen are enough to rewrite this story, he's out of touch with reality. Because this is no longer about some quarterback controversy. No, this is about trust. This is about repairing a fractured culture. This is about proving to a locker room that talent earns opportunity instead of being tossed around as a hollow talking point to appease the media. And here's the brutal truth. If things don't change fast, it won't just be Stefanski's job on the line. It'll be Shedeur Sanders' entire future in Cleveland. Think about it. Do you honestly believe Sanders, with all that talent and potential, is going to tie his long-term future to a system that betrayed him in year 1? You don't think his camp is already looking around at other franchises, other coaches, other cities, places that would actually prioritize his development instead of turning it into some political chess match? The clock is ticking. And if Stefanski is still calling plays by mid-season, don't be surprised if the only thing Shedeur Sanders is developing is an exit strategy. So let's stop pretending. Did Stefanski cross the line here? Should Shedeur Sanders start thinking about a trade if nothing changes? And is there even a sliver of hope this franchise can right the ship before another meltdown drags it under again? Because what we're seeing isn't mismanagement. It's deliberate sabotage, disguised as strategy. An entire league saw it unfold in real time. If you thought the Browns quarterback saga had already bottomed out, think again. This isn't the ending. This is the opening act before the collapse of the whole stage. And with Stefanski drowning under the weight of his own decisions, Cleveland might be headed toward one of the most spectacular coaching downfalls this city has ever seen. And believe me, that's saying something. So let's rewind. Let's lay out exactly how this spiraled out of control. Shedeur Sanders, the most promising rookie quarterback this organization has had in years, was thrown into preseason like a crash test dummy. No protection, no creative play calling, no safety net, just trial by fire, designed not to show off his growth, but to expose his flaws. The result? Ugly stat lines, sideline shots of a kid looking lost, and a narrative spun against him so fast it looked like a washing machine on turbo cycle. And then, right when the criticism started heating up, the Browns front office pulled the plug. The offensive line that was supposed to protect him? Wiped out overnight, as if the solution to bad coaching was to erase the very guys who were set up to fail. But let's be honest, that wasn't accountability. That was scapegoating. Stefanski and his staff were desperate to shift the spotlight. Instead of admitting they sabotaged their rookie with a broken scheme, they blamed the lineman. As if 5 pros all forgot how to block at the exact same time. It's absurd. It's insulting. Like watching someone pour gasoline on a fire and then blame the smoke alarm. And the deeper issue here isn't just bad football. It's betrayal. Sanders wasn't drafted to sit behind dusty playbooks and recycled veterans. He was drafted to be developed, to be given real reps to be the cornerstone of a new era. Instead, he's become another victim of a franchise that can't stop tripping over its own ego. And now that the backlash is national, Stefanski's scrambling. Suddenly, he's all in on Sanders. Suddenly, there's a plan. Suddenly, the same coach who refused to give him consistent red zone reps is spitting out buzzwords like progression and growth. But nobody's buying it. Not fans, not analysts, not former players. Because here's the reality, Cleveland has revolted. Twitter spaces are running for hours. Ex-players are calling him out. National media is piling on. And why? Because this isn't just another botched experiment. This was personal. Shedeur Sanders represented hope. From day one, the kid had presence, composure, leadership. For a fan base scarred by decades of heartbreak, Sanders was the spark they'd been waiting for. And instead of nurturing that spark, Stefanski poured cold water on it. And the rumors? They're ugly. Whispers that Sanders wasn't Stefanski's pick. That ownership forced his hand. That this is less about football and more about ego. If that's true, then this isn't just incompetence. It's sabotage, pure and simple. A coach willing to torpedo his own rookie to win a power struggle with the front office? That's not football. That's politics. And if there's any truth to it, Stefanski shouldn't survive the week. Because you don't get to sacrifice a rookie's career just to prove a point. So where do we go from here? 3 paths. 1. Stefanski keeps spinning his PR game, hoping Joe Flacco can keep things respectable long enough to calm the storm. 2. He swallows his pride, builds a real offense around Sanders, and does what should have been done months ago. Or 3. Ownership steps in and makes the hard call. They cut ties with Stefanski before he drags the whole franchise down with him. Because this isn't just a preseason blip. This is the story of the season. It exposes the rot at the core of this franchise. Fear, favoritism, stubbornness. And Shedeur Sanders is the canary in the coal mine. If Cleveland doesn't fix this now, what's coming isn't just another wasted season. It's another wasted talent, another fractured locker room, another star walking out the door while fans watch him succeed somewhere else and ask the same painful question: why does this always happen to us? So let's be real. Kevin Stefanski is coaching for his life. Not next month. Not after the bye week. Right now. Because this disaster with Shedeur Sanders ripped the mask off this organization. And what's underneath isn't pretty. Sure, Stefanski's still giving interviews. Still running practices. Still pretending everything's fine. But don't be fooled. Behind the scenes, this franchise is in panic mode. Insiders are whispering. Players are talking. Former staffers are hinting that this isn't new. It's just the latest chapter in a long, ugly pattern. And now the entire NFL is watching. The clock is ticking. Cleveland is running out of time. So what do you think? Did Kevin Stefanski sabotage Shedeur Sanders? Should Sanders demand a trade if nothing changes? And is there any hope this franchise can salvage itself before it collapses all over again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that subscribe button for the real story, not the PR spin. Because here, we don't sugarcoat it. We expose it. And right now, Cleveland isn't just fighting for a season. They're fighting for their identity.